Thunderbolts, or should we call it superhero, super soldier, mercenary, super therapy? Because that's ultimately what this movie is. It's a super therapy movie. Everybody here is going through bouts of self doubt, depression, and conflict within their inner selves, which means they have to face a villain that is also dealing with conflict within their inner selves, and that is where the century in the void comes in. I was extremely hyped for this movie the moment they announced it. It's because it's obscure. Or when they get an obscure IP, they usually have a more broader range in which they can go with it. They can pretty much stamp their own original sense of personality on it, and that is what I like about this movie. Now, it isn't a movie that's like super different in its story or in its characters, but what makes it different from a lot of superhero movies, especially one like Captain America Brave New World that came out earlier this year, is the fact that it spends a lot of time on character in that story about their conflict and inner demons that they're having to wrestle with. Usually a movie like this usually tries to numb your brain as a viewer with action and a bunch of set pieces in order to, so this way you're not thinking about the fact that they're pretty much lacking character in story. Here they did the opposite. The characters in the story is the main focus, where the action and set pieces are little cherries on top to keep the entertainment factor up. Because at the end of the day, these are superhero movies. When people come to superhero movies, they want to see some form of action. That's the whole point of the superhero. And I think everybody here does an amazing job at what they're meant to do. Yelena, played by Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh brings so much out of Yelena's character and her loneliness and her depression that she's going through. Wyatt Russell as John Walker here, second best character to me. I've always liked John Walker, Wyatt Russell as U.S. agent since Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I liked how Wyatt Russell plays him as just like a regular army douchebag, given superhuman strength and abilities and pretty much super steroids. His fuse is so short in which he will cooperate with others. It's like a 10-second fuse. All right, you got 10 seconds to come up with a plan that makes sense to me, or else I'm doing whatever the fuck I want to do, and I'm gonna call you stupid. And if you talk back too much and you say too much, you in my way. So now you're an enemy. I may just kill you. Ghost, don't do much with her, but I think it's because they exploit her character in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So she's a more side character. She's fun here though. David Harbour as the Red Guardian. Just straight comic relief. Everything he does is comic filled until one moment towards the end of the movie where he has to show more ranges of emotions, and he does great there. And I really felt it. And they give him a great monologue and speech about being a hero and finding family. You think he's just a one-note joke of a Russian superhero that's too old and fat and forgotten, but there's more to him. Bucky's not really here as much because his character's a lot more pulled back. He's just trying to be a congressman and a politician, so he's a lot more reserved personality than he usually does already. But now it's 10 times more reserved. He's trying to do things by the book, and he practically only comes within the action towards like the second half. For the first two acts, he's mostly talking with others, people on phones, antagonizing, trying to get dirt on Julia Louis-Dreyfus character, and then he gets a lot more stuff to do in the third act or the second half of the movie. I know I said John Walker was my second favorite. I lied. Mr. Bob. Okay, he's actually my second favorite. Lewis Pullman puts on a great performance that is just fun. He has the most range here out of everybody in this movie because he plays like three personalities. He plays like this drug addicted slacker, this hero that is coming into his powers, and then he has to play this villain that wants to take over the world by making everyone live in the void, in the despair and depression that they all suffer from. So he does a great job here. He has so much range that he has to commit to, and he does a great job here. All in all, I think this movie is great. It's fun. It's deep at time. It's character oriented. great action when it needs to be. I really liked this movie. Found it extremely entertaining. And I felt like it also has something to say about mental health and depression. So for that, the Thunderbolts get an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. And as always, subscribe, you dumbass.